Because think about it. If we say, I'm attracted to her breasts, but I don't honor the fact that they're made to feed babies. If I'm attracted to her womb, but I'm not honoring the fact that her womb is designed to carry life, then I'm gutting her of the very essential, deep truth of her womanhood.
And you're not really attracted to her.
Exactly. You're attracted to the pleasure you can get from her at her expense.
Yeah.
And again, the sexual revolution has sold a pill of goods to women saying, gut yourself so that men can treat you this way and you'll be liberated? Haven't, in fact, women made them enslaved now to the disordered passions of men? Jason, I have been so jazzed with a project I'm working on lately, taking a deep dive into Karol Wojtyła. This is before he became John Paul II, his book, Love and Responsibility. I studied it years ago, probably read it 3 or 4 times, once before I got married, then 2 or 3 times when I was in my early marriage. Now with 26 years of marriage under my belt and revisiting this book, it's just unfolding for me at a whole new level. I'm so excited to teach this course next summer on love and responsibility. But I want to share an insight he had about what marriage is and this idea of matrimony, right? Matrimony. We know that's kind of like a fancy word for marriage. But if you pick it apart, matrimonus, it means the call to motherhood.
Beautiful.
So check this out. He says, marriage is the stable institution that protects the eventual motherhood of a woman, right? And in doing so, he says, it frees her in some fundamental measure from the anxiety that otherwise prevents a woman from genuinely opening herself up and surrendering to a man in sexual intercourse. So let's just pause there for a minute. Here we have this fundamental difference of men and women. The male is the kind of being who generates life outside himself. The female is the kind of being who generates life within herself, which means much more is at stake for a woman in the sexual act than for a man. She's the one who gets pregnant. She's the one who carries the baby. The man can plant a seed and go his merry way. But he's saying, JP2 is saying, marriage is the stable institution that acknowledges that sex leads to babies, loves the facts that sex leads to babies, and provides the environment where having a baby is a good thing. It's not something to ward off. We are in a relationship in which we know that sex leads to babies, and I'm saying as a man, I love the fact that sex leads to babies, saying that to my wife, and my whole life I am gearing towards honoring this fact, right? And this alone, JP2 says, frees the woman from this anxiety that would otherwise prevent her from genuinely opening herself in sexual intercourse, because she knows the risk that's involved for her. She's the one who carries the baby. And then I was thinking on this as an understanding of marriage, and it dawned on me that in the modern world, so-called liberated women have forfeited their God-given right to this harmonious reality, this genuine loving reality of a marriage, of a man who's really going to love her. Not that marriage itself is a guarantee that the man's going to love you, but it's the objective framework that sets you up for success in learning what it really means to love. But in the modern world, women have said, in order to get rid of my anxiety, I'm no longer going to look for a man who's going to love me my whole life in order to protect the fact that I'm the one who could be pregnant, would be pregnant. Instead, I'm going to take the pill so that I can have the sex and not get pregnant.
And be like a man.
And be like a, right. What are men? Men are the kinds of beings who can have sex and not get pregnant. Women have exchanged by buying into this liberation model, the false liberation. Women have actually made themselves slaves to the lusts of men. It's like the whole sexual revolution. Women have been saying, if you can't beat them, join them, right? We're just gut our whole motherhood reality, and now I can have sex rampantly like you want to, and really I'm surrendering. From the woman's perspective, I'm really throwing in the towel, and I'm saying, go ahead and treat me like an object. And it just dawned on me in a new way that to render the sexual act sterile is inherently anti-matrimonial. It is a contradiction of the call to motherhood. Right? It is an inherently anti-marital act. Thoughts? What's stirring in your mind? That's just
What's
from
stirring in my mind is more personal, which is this whole idea of seeing a woman and recognizing her motherhood, or her
potential
motherhood in just the fact that she's a woman, and how the journey that I have been on with the Lord to bring me to the point that is so beautiful, like that is so amazing, and that what attracts me to my wife, and just when I'm traveling, whatever, and I see other women who are attractive, what is attractive about them is this idea that they were created to be moms. Like their bodies were created to have life in them and give birth to that life. That is what I'm most attracted to. And what's beautiful about that is that preserves me from lust. It preserves when I'm seeing that beauty in a woman in that way, I'm not doing anything to dishonor my wife. It's quite the opposite. I know my wife even more intimately that way, and I love her even more because of that. I'm just seeing that beauty in this other woman, and it frees me to honor that beauty without trying to own it or grab it or take it in some disordered way, even just in my thoughts.
John Paul II calls that an integral attraction to the beauty of the other. And he points out that what is it that a man is attracted to in a woman? He's attracted to her breasts. He's attracted to her womb. He's attracted to her birth canal, right? All of this that he's attracted to is designed by God to bring about the amazing miracle of motherhood, which of course can't happen without fatherhood, right? If she becomes a mother through him, he's the father. He experiences fatherhood. And the integral attraction is to hold all of that together. Because think about it. If we say, I'm attracted to her breasts, but I don't honor the fact that they're made to feed babies. If I'm attracted to her womb, but I'm not honoring the fact that her womb is designed to carry life. If I'm attracted to her birth canal, but I'm not honoring the fact that it's designed to give birth, then I'm gutting her of the very essential deep truth of her womanhood.
And you're not really attracted to her.
Exactly. You're attracted to the pleasure you can get from her at her expense. And again, the sexual revolution has sold a pill of goods to women saying, gut yourself so that men can treat you this way and you'll be liberated. Haven't, in fact, women made them enslaved now to the disordered passions of men? And I'm reminded here of something Germaine Greer said, and she's one of the foremost feminist authors out there. But she's looking back now at decades of what the pill has done to women, and she says the pill has turned women into call girls to be readily available for meaningless sex.
Wow.
I would say it's the original gender confusion. When we render our genitals unable to generate, we are neutering the fundamental purpose in nature of the gender distinction. And we start viewing the world through condom-colored glasses, and the very meaning of gender disappears.
And this is sensitive stuff. I mean, as I'm listening to you say the truth, and it's beautiful and it's powerful. Like, if you're watching this and that's not where you're at, this can be really hard to hear. It can be really hard to hear. And if you're somebody who's contracepting, or that's been just part of your relational experience and marital experience, then I want to love you there, and I want to encourage you to not shut this off and not turn that off, but be open and listen to this. I will just speak to you from my own experience in my own marriage, is that to the extent that I honor my wife's ability to have children, and it doesn't mean, we have 5 children, we don't have 25 children. If we had more, that'd be great. But the point is, it's the honoring of that gift, an honoring of her identity. When I do that, the extent to which I do that, it frees me, even more so in our intimacy, in our intimate time together. It frees me to be even more open and more a gift. There's more pleasure,
Yes.
not because I'm after the pleasure. There's more pleasure because I'm entering into a real communion with her.
Integral
who she
pleasure.
really is.
It's a
Yeah.
rejoicing in the beauty
There
of
it
what
is.
God made it to be. Explore. We have so much more to share with you about this integral beauty, this integral attraction, this beautiful integral plan of God for making us male and female. Check out our other videos. Share this with others if it helped you. And check out the courses we offer on John Paul II's theology of the body in the links below.